Hey everyone, so today's video is going to be a spring shop my stash. Now I'm not actually like going through my collection with you guys. I did pick out a bunch of products that I was really excited to use for the spring actually a little while ago, and I just wanted to share them here with you guys today. So these are products that I am going to be pulling into my bathroom where I do my makeup to use for the next couple of months. I will be also using other makeup products. I'm not just going to stick to these products, but these are the main ones that I'm really excited to pull out for the springtime. So let's just go ahead and get straight into the video. I guess we will start with eyeshadow palettes. Now I knew I wanted to pull out an ABH palette because I haven't used my ABH palettes a lot recently, and I actually haven't worn makeup a lot recently, at least not a lot of makeup. On the day-to-day basis, I usually just apply a very minimal amount of makeup. And when I say minimal, I mean literally just concealer and blush, sometimes bronzer and highlighter. And sometimes if I have time and I wake up early enough in the morning, I will do a little bit more, but I'm not necessarily putting on a full face of makeup every day. Anyways, I want to pull out my ABH Norvina palette for the springtime. I think this just has some really beautiful, more bright pastel shades in here for the spring. And I also really love the ABH metallic shades. I do have this on my eyes today. I have this pink shade all over the lid, but I do have a Terra Moons Cosmetics shimmery shade all over my lid as well on top of that. So the main shades I used were this pink shade, this one, like these three right here, basically for this whole look. So I am really excited to pull this out and get some more use out of it. I feel like I'm close to pan. Well, this shade right here actually shattered, so there's not a ton of product in there. But I would like to hit pan on one of these shades by the time I roll it out of this Shop My Stash. The next palette I'm extra excited for because it is new to my collection. This is the Odin's Eye Alba palette, and I haven't used this actually maybe once. I've used it, but I haven't really used it at all, and I just love this color story, especially for the springtime, and these are the types of tones that I love to wear on my eyes. These just pinky mauve sort of tones, and I can also experiment with a little bit of color in these yellows as well, so I'm really excited to pull this out for the spring. And the packaging of Odin's Eye products are just really beautiful, so this in general just makes me excited to use it. Next up, for some cheek products, I'm also not picking a product for every single category, but I wanted to pull out one of my magnetic palettes, and the main reason I wanted this was for these cheek products. I just want to get some more use out of these. These are ColourPop cheek products. These two, obviously these two are blushes. This is a bronzer and this is a highlighter. I'm not even gonna try to name them for you guys, but obviously I do have pan on these two, which is another reason I just wanted to get some more use out of them. I would eventually like to get them finished off and out of my collection. And then up here, we just have some of my single shadows. This is JD Glow, and then these four are Terra Moon. So I added these in here just to sort of have them closer to me and make sure I'm actually dipping into them and using them a little bit more, because I do have all of my single shadows in one separate palette, and I'm not necessarily bringing that out for my Shop My Stash, but I like to pull some single shadows into magnetic palettes like this, so I can just sort of have them with me, and I have this sort of smaller selection rather than having all of my single eyeshadows out at once. Now we have a few cheek products. The first one is actually a powder blush, and I don't use powders a ton. I haven't really been using powders at all recently, but this is a little mini of Milani Luminoso. I feel like this is a classic peachy springtime blush, and it just adds a little bit of brightness to your cheeks. And every time I use this, I really love it, but I feel like this is a product that's kind of underrated, and even I forget about in my collection. I mean, it obviously is very hyped up, and I feel like a lot of people know about this, but I feel like it is just a classic, really great blush, and I like that it's a little bit glowy as well. And you guys know I definitely had to include some cream products. So the first one I want to pull out is my Lime Crime Software Blush in the shade Flash Drive, and the packaging is broken on this, so the lid does come off. But this is a really pretty sort of pinky, not really iridescent, but it is shimmery and glowy. It's not necessarily glittery. I feel like it does have some little glitters in there, but it's not really noticeable on the cheeks. but I like to wear this sort of as like a blush highlighter combo. So when I apply this, I feel like I don't need to apply a highlighter because it is so glowy, but I do also love a really glowy blush. So I feel like this is a kind of a all-in-one type of product. So I'm really excited to pull this out and get some more use out of it. Then I have a few brand new products in my collection. The first one is from Ritual Defee. This is their Color Nectar Pigment Balm in the shade Hummingbird. And this is obviously a very bright shade. I got this specifically for like spring, summertime. That's why I picked this shade. So it looks very intimidating on the pan. I feel like it's not that intense on the cheeks. These do come off relatively sheer. Obviously, you can build them up, but I'm really excited to get some more use out of this, and it is definitely a very unique shade to my collection. Then I have another brand new Milk makeup product. This is their Bionic Blush in the shade Infinity. The packaging makes this look a little bit more mauve-y, but it is definitely a little bit more of a brighter pink. I mean, you can't really tell there. I guess I can swatch it for you guys. So that is a light swatch of this blush. It is relatively sheer, but again, you can build it up. And these are also pretty glowy, which I love. But I find that these do dry down a little bit. I haven't used them a ton, so I can't really speak on my full opinion of them, but I do really, really love this shade, especially for the springtime. And then I also included my Milk Bionic bronzer in the shade Time Travel. This is the lightest shade. Again, this is a more glowy product, but this is on the warmer side. It's not super warm. It's like a perfect bronzer tone for me, but it's definitely not a contour. And that is next to the blush, what that looks like, a little bit sheared out as well. So you can see these are just really pretty, almost natural looking colors. And I find that they do stay on the cheeks really well. I've only worn them a couple of times though. So I have really, really loved the tone of these. I'm really excited to use them some more in the springtime. Then I chose a few lip products. I actually have 6 lip products here, which is quite a few, but I do like to rotate through my lip products, and I was just so excited to use all of these for the spring. So the first one is an e.l.f. gloss. I don't believe this is available anymore, but this is the shade Sheer Watermelon, and it's a really pretty sort of brighter red gloss, but you can sheer it out. So I find this kind of just looks like you ate a popsicle. That's the kind of look it gives to your lips, which I really, really love. And it's a little bit on the brighter side, but it's still sheer, so it makes it wearable. Then another brand new product to my collection, or at least pretty new, I've worn it a few times, is this Honest Beauty lip balm. It's a tinted lip balm in the shade Dragon Fruit, and I got this pretty much for the spring summertime because it is a little bit brighter. It definitely looks very intimidating in the tube, but these are very, very sheer. You can build them up a little bit, but for the most part they are sheer. So if you are thinking of purchasing these, don't be afraid of the brighter or darker shades. Then another lipstick from ColourPop. I just want to get more use out of my ColourPop lipsticks in general, and I thought this was a perfect spring shade. It is like a peachy pink shade. It's the shade Spring Roll, so I thought that was just kind of fitting. I believe this came out in one of their spring collections a few years ago, so I do want to get some use out of this. And then I do have a couple, again, newer products from Oden's Eye here. I recently made an order from Oden's Eye. I got their large mystery box. So I have the shade Sweet Peach in one of their matte liquid lipsticks. Obviously, this is just like a peachy shade. So I'm really excited to pull this out for the springtime. And normally I don't wear sort of peachy warm tone shades, but I want to try to mix it up a little bit and stop wearing cool tones every single day. Then again, from Oden's Eye, I have a lipstick here. This is their Velvet Lipstick formula, and I have the shade Red Cherry. So it is a red shade, and I never wear reds, but I find that I can sheer this out on my lips, make it look slightly more natural. Obviously, it is still going to be really bright, but I want to get into wearing bolder lip colors, at least when I do wear lip colors. That's not just like a tinted lip balm, because a lot of the time I don't even wear like a natural lipstick. I mostly just wear tinted lip balms these days, or like lip oils. So I do want to try to wear some more bold colors on my lips. And then lastly, I chose my Urban Decay. This is their Stay Naked Vice Lip Chemistry in the shade Pink Slip. So this is like a lip stain. It's sort of like a glossy stain, and the shade Pink Slip is a almost like lavender lilac type of shade, which I really love. I love cool tones, as I mentioned, so this is like a perfect shade for me, and it is very, very sheer, so it definitely doesn't show up like this on the lips. And it is just a lip stain, so I find that it stays on really well. Obviously, it stains your lips, so even when it wears off, there is still some color left behind. But that is it for this Shop My Stash. This was actually a pretty short video, even though I had quite a few products. I do want to start doing these videos every season, so I'll film one again in a few months for the summertime. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. I'm trying to post videos once a week as well, so if you want to see more from me, make sure to subscribe and don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notified every time I post. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.